Well, my friends, I'm back with another video reviewing episode 2 of the Rurouni Kenshin reboot. And very unique episode, I say. It's a little late now, but it's 1 in the morning. Not my fault though, because internet randomly went out for a couple minutes. God, that's bloody annoying. It's just random. It fucking does that randomly. Gets on my nerves. I mean, what I find unique about this episode is does chapter 2 and 3 in a unique way. Okay, I do agree. This is a good reboot, and it's faithful. But one thing I'm missing is the comedy. Uh, 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 it's missing a bit of the comedy. It still was comedy, but not much visual comedy. Oh, what the hell's my voice now? When it's still animated, it's still use anime with use expression humor. I call it. When it can show, we can make it seem funny with just the visual, just the characters' faces. Sort of like Walt Disney's personality animation. That's what he called it. So, yeah. So I have, like, instead for the Bleach Browsing and Blood War, because it's a more serious story, so they toned down all the comedic moments so it wouldn't be jarring, and a real pace breaker. But Rurouni Kenshin, I understand. Like, if they could tone down most of the comedy for some of the serious stuff, like the battle against the battle against the Marangumi, was it? Oh, Shizugumi. Ah, crap, I forgot that name. Only one group, that's it. Which comes will be towards the end of the season. So I assume it might be 2 or 3 episodes long. Maybe. Depends on how long. I do not know what episodes were filler or not in the original anime because I did not read the manga. So yeah. So I'm curious to know what other episodes are being adapted into the season. So let's get into a review. So yeah. Oh, sorry. Ah. Oh, that's bad. Anyway, what was the episode start again? Hey, how did this up? The episode was of the Kamiya Kashin dojo of the of Ko's dojo, which it says out loud that they defeated the fake Batosai. Rumors should have been gone, so why didn't they get any students? And the original anime actually added some students into the episodes. Get a sense of get more sense of how people are just treating like murderers, even though they've been doing that stuff for a while. So I think that was a good addition in the original animation. The reboot lost that. It was an interesting addition. Well, the original anime did make a lot of changes in the first episode. You can look for those changes on. You can just look it up online. Differences between the Rurouni Kenshin reboot and difference between the Rurouni Kenshin animes. So, Manchi. I'm recently watched a video about how the author of Rurouni Kenshin what just lost his credibility, just lost all his fame and success for CP. Yeah, you don't. me tell you, just look up the creator's name, But that's not what I'm here to talk about. That's not what I want to talk about. Something I learned. He's actually, he mentored and hired, he had an assistant and mentored a young author whose aim was to create a special, one of the most longest running anime series, longest running manga, with about second second longest anime, Shonen Jump, next to Kuchikana, I think that's what it's called. One that still has ongoing, currently still on its recent arc. You don't get it, you. I'm talking about Ichiro Oda, the author of One Piece. I'm not shitting you. He must be. I bet he was an assistant to the creator of Jungle King Tarchan now. He said he was 19 at the time. YouTube said Oda was 19 at the time. But I should have looked that up. But that's interesting. Oda helped, was the assistant to one of the most popular manga of the 90s. Kenshin basically tells her it might take some time for more students to come. That's not Kara wants to discuss. It was no. This is another toned down comedic scene where Kara being surprised about where we learn actually Kenshin's age. Some of the original anime never told us. According to the anime and manga, Kenshin is 28. Yet the revolution was 30 years ago. Was I making 18 at the time then? No. No, 10 years ago. Yeah, how can it be 28? That does not make any sense. One thing, the revolution was 30 years ago, and he was an adult then too. He wouldn't be. He wouldn't even be born at the time, would he? Wait, I can't remember actually. I should look up. I might be getting it wrong. The revolution might not be 30 years ago. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. What the effing hell was that? Huh. Sorry about that. I said I should close as well. Anyway, if you feel free to put me in the comments down below if I'm right or wrong. That could be really helpful because I'm not good remembering this stuff. Should open a manga online actually, do all it. I'm just gonna wait for more money to go on the account though, which might happen on the 14th. Wait. Which is today. Probably check the account tomorrow, hopefully, if I have enough time. Anyway, so yeah. So yeah. Kesha said, what if I say it was 30? It's kind of hilarious, but it's shame it's toned down in the reboot. Like, I do not know what they were thinking. It's still a faithful reboot and good. The animation's great. The voice acting's great. The story's also great. I just don't know why they toned down the comedic scenes. One of Kenshin's an action comedy series. So I have no clue why they did that. They're thinking the original has a lot more comedy. So we just toned down the comedy in the reboot. Like, yeah, it's modern. So a lot of visual humor is toned down because of the limitations of digital animation. But still, they can at least get a lot more expressive comedic moments more. One Piece still manages to pull off its expression animation, even with digital. So they can't use that as an excuse. So anyway, the cow. So after we get the opening, the Kenshin and Karu head off into town. Now here's where now as we get a bit of a deviation from the manga slightly, not deviation to say. Most likely it is a scene from the manga, but it's not from chapter 2. Kenshin and Karu discussing things I can't remember much. What's the discussion? So yeah, they combine chapters 2 and 3 in the episode. I think that, I don't know why, but when you think about it, it's a good way to get in the next chapter in chapter 4. Well, without, just in case chapter 5 is the Nosuke's introduction. I want to make sure those stay together. Make sure that's blow it back, not to have it cut off with cliffhanger. So I think it actually works well in the anime's favor. So I don't mind it. So yeah. Anyway, anyway, talking. A kid bumps into Kenshin. Carl notices and pins it out and pins him, saying that he's still Kenshin's wife. It's interesting how they changed the character's outfit from the original anime. Well, it's the same. I mean, I don't get old Japanese culture. They do give us more information on some things that are more known in Japan to help the Western audience understand a bit more. So that's good. Anyway, Kenshin. Oh yeah, the characters. Kenshin's trying to come help his one got stolen. Tells him and gives his wallet to the kid, telling him, calling kid out, saying, trying to get caught again. Pisses off the boy as he throws the wallet right back at Kenshin when I was walking away. He said, "Don't call him kiddo. His name is Yahiko Myojin." Which, interesting fact, the manga calls them by their last names first, like in subbed anime. I don't get why, but it's interesting. A unique experience for fans. Who's Yahiko is the descendant of a samurai. Does not want to be treated like a kid. Kanji does call him kid again, but he says maybe a kid, but your heart, more mature on the inside. And the mature line was changing the reboots. Doesn't need that pity kid, but so Yahiko runs off. I say I like Yahiko's new voice. I don't hate his old one, but I don't know. The Japanese cast of the original anime, well, alright. Kenshin's original voice was okay, but I don't know why they cast a female voice actor. They a pretty adult male character. Like Shun was feminine, but he had a male voice. I think. Did he? I have to look that up. Anyway, so the entire part is chapter 3. Then we switch back to chapter 2. As Kenshin and Karo will continue going to town. girl scolding Kenshin that he should he should hide his sword. So there's a sword ban, but he comments that 2 years ago it was quite common to see people have swords around them. And plus, look at people, they don't mind. They don't seem to care. Carl starts to wonder Kenshin suspends Kenshin is totally different from the legendary Batosai. Or something, I don't know. You know? She wants to she definitely is curious to know why he left. Why he became a Rurouni in the first place. As Kenshin comments to her, looks her eyes tell him that she wants to ask a question. We get a flashback. The anime adds a flashback to the last episode. Which is actually a nice detail. After all, it would be a pain for the mangaka to draw the same scene from the previous chapter in this for a point. So that's understandable. But you cannot forgive the creator for what he did. Anyway. Anyway, Kenshin typically goes off about Carl for a bit. And Carl tells him it's nothing, and he walks off. Before she can move his well, a man in a carriage comes by asking for directions to the police station. She works him, he banks her. As we learn that someone knows who Batosa, but even what the Batosai is. And a girl's walking by trying to. And she hears a commotion. She knows someone's going on. Assistant tells her that the police have caught someone, but defying the limit sword rule. You know what I mean. His coward to realise who it might be. So, let's catch it surrounded by the police. Yahiko's been. Actually, there is a only scene of Yahiko meeting up with the Yakuza who want money out of him. Who want the actually stolen money today. He says he hasn't. Gets hit for that. But Yahiko. So yeah, Yahiko's added to the incident too. Like, he might stay in the original anime, but more involved there. Because he was already introduced in the previous episode prior to that. You get what I mean? I know it's more. Both stories were more extended as their own episodes for some reason. And it's a lot of filler content. Hey, it's interesting content in the original anime. The Raven soundtrack is good, but it can't live up to the original. That pamphlet sound effect in the background most of the time. I think it's a pamphlet, I can't remember what time it is. But you know that sound? That appears sometimes at the start or end, and sometimes during certain scenes of the episode. It's actually very memorable. It's great for setting a mood, like Kenshin. Sean catches the mission to protect his friends, the people he cares about. It actually works well with the scenes. No, it's used for the title cards of most of the episodes. Which I think I like more. I just like that soundtrack, okay? I'm just disappointed Crunchyroll removed it off the site. Which pisses me off. Like, I was still watching that. I plan to continue watching before the reboot even came out. I know Crunchyroll had to bloody remove it. I don't get them. Like, there was no reason to remove it. Like, if it's space they need it, that's fine if they can move other things, but it's trying to, it's like they're trying to replace it. That's all give thanks to experiences. They can check out both versions if they want to. Should be an example where a streaming site has both original and reboot. Oh yes, Netflix USA. They had the Saint Seiya reboot. Well, simply season 1. We also have the original version with their own dub of it. Which, by the way, I'm a little complaint about because, you know, I'll say more of that when I actually get to the reboot. Actually may rewatch the entire Saint Seiya anime in Japanese. Just to experience the language properly. The only way to watch Saint Seiya officially is to use a VPN. It costs money. I don't have VPN. Anyway, as I said, Yahiko kind of witnesses the whole incident. Benjamin Corns, please. So. The swordsman budget police show up with swords, saying they're the swordsman police. And they'll take care of it from here. But the officer questions them, saying that the man's unarmed, the man hasn't drawn his sword, and they already have it surrounded. So they might be able to so I think it's neat, really. Like, they're just concerned. But the guy just hit him with the edge of his sword. The bottom half there is the head, though. No. Someone low rank as him doesn't have the right to tell him what to do. And Reddit tells Kenshin to draw his sword, which he refuses. And the sons of the police threaten her, carve a ribbon. But they plan to publicly humiliate her. Questions, are they really policemen? As I say, they're the swordsman police. Special groups allowed to carry swords. They allow to use swords for justice. But people complain about that. Instead, they just use it for their own personal gain. He tells his men to arrest them, and if they resist, kill them. Was Kenshin to draw his sword. Then he considered it self-defense. Is how Kenshin draw his sword. That's in the original anime, made it more epic. More a brilliant moment in the original anime, in my opinion. Still, it's a good scene. As we cut to the same man earlier talking to the policeman here about the whole incident from last episode with the fake Batosai. As the one we saw in the carriage, saying that he knows the real Batosai would never do stuff like that. He was a hero. Us discussing these things. Anyway, an officer comes in he's scolded by his superior, this guy, but he apologizes. It's just mercy. There was a swordsman police cell. As we learn that the swordsman is the one who formed the swordsman police. In a different district, all across Japan, there are different police districts. Different districts for policemen across Japan. I mean, of course, there are multiple police in each region of Japan too these days. And the West. No, something I didn't know. Did you know Shueisha did a manga, it's a manga adaptation of Captain Scarlet? You know what it is? It's a British series created by Gary Anderson, creator of Thunderbirds. You probably heard that one. And it was under the title of Shonen Books before Shonen Jump existed. Yeah, that's a whole thing. Jim don't to talk about videos like do videos like that. Anyway, in mental the anyway, seems that the chief of the station knew they were doing some bad things, but did not disband them for some reason. Alright, his hair seems different in the reboots. It might be just me though. Alright, poster being taken down. At least the G surprised. Yeah, the man doesn't know. He's just describes what he heard. You know, after I mentioned he had a cross-shaped scar. Seems the other man knew who that was. That was obviously Kenshin, by the way. We know about. He seems to know more about Kenshin personally. As if everything seen Kenshin take these guys down. As people are cheering him on. As Kenshin tells him that swim not hot Carol or the townsfolk ever again, or use their swords for their own personal gain. The guy doesn't listen to him. This success chief just tried to warn him, but on the fool. But as the other guy comments that style is interesting, but against Kenshin's um, shit. Itamurugi style. I can't remember how to say it most of the time. It's hard to say sometimes, isn't it? Against Kenshin's direct attack, it's useless. And as Kenshin sweeps repeats him, as the people thank him for it. Man calls out his name. Kenshin does know him. I think he was a senator? Nah. I can't remember his name. Get the gist. He offers Kenshin a chance to join the Imperials again. But Kenshin refuses. Even though he doesn't want. I mean, yeah, Kenshin's killed a lot of people in the past, but he did it before. But still, Kenshin. There must be a reason why. Like, if his people complain about it, he'll just use his power to make them shut up. Let me know about what they're doing. You see, he's happy living a peaceful world that the people he cares about. He's just now Rurouni, just wandering about, protecting people as he can. As the man questions, what good would one sword do to protect everyone? Says, you know, he's just able to protect Carol and anyone that's close to him. So, even with the sword, he'll do his best to protect them. There's the cheat comments that he has a different impression of Kenshin now. He thought he was a bad guy, but now he's not. Mm. As Sukati, Kenshin does it right back. As Yahiko's at the riverbank. As his waterfall, so he remembers Yahiko. Still got him kid on. Anyway, those Yakuza bugs come back to press to him for money again, which he tells him he's got. Actually, before that, we got an anime only scene, which reminds me of the scene from the original anime, where an old woman drops her wallet, and Yahiko picks it up. Like, thinking about what they're saying. So he knows he do it, but he didn't. Something like the original anime, say he did technically steal it, but gave it back. Something like that scene. as they beat the crap out of him. After saying he cut ties with him, they beat the crap out of him, but still, he's gonna get cut ties with bugs like him. End of the episode there, which I think is pretty. Sorry, I think it's pretty interesting. That they decided to combine chapters 2 and 3, but mostly focused on chapter 2, keeping most of chapter 3 for next episode, which is a little tease. I think that's actually pretty interesting. I like that. I think it's pretty unique and it makes sense for chapter 4 to be adapted too. Go through chapter 5, the introduction of Sanosuke. Maybe. I have to look that up. So, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy my content. Please subscribe. Want to see more? Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Be updated all these comes in the future. I think I mentioned this last time for the opening, but they continue to reference the freckles, one of the only ones I notice. I'm not going to notice the details, but that was definitely a reference where Kenshin just stands up just by holding a sword. The exact pose he did. It's definitely a reference to that. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you. I'll see you next time for another video. Keep Phoenix out.